So, a couple of weeks ago, my friend Jane convinced me to join her at a local exercise class. She had heard about this yoga session that was supposed to be the latest craze in town. Now, I'm not usually the yoga type, but she insisted it was a great way to de-stress, and I figured it couldn't hurt to try. We arrived at the studio, which was a quaint little place tucked away in the corner of the shopping plaza. The room was dimly lit, with calming music playing softly in the background, and a few other participants were already stretching on their mats. Everything seemed perfectly normal, and I was ready to embrace my inner yogi. The instructor walked in, a lanky fellow with a beret and striped shirt, which I thought was a little unconventional for yoga attire, but who am I to judge? He started with some basic stretches, and at first, everything seemed fine. But then, I noticed he wasn't actually saying anything. I mean, not a single word. Instead, he was making these exaggerated motions with his hands and face, miming what we should do next. I exchanged confused looks with Jane, who shrugged it off, thinking maybe it was some new silent yoga technique. But as the session went on, things got increasingly bizarre. At some point, he pretended to be trapped inside an invisible box, and I couldn't help but wonder if this was an elaborate interpretation of the tree pose. The other participants seemed equally bewildered, but no one wanted to be the first to admit they had no idea what was happening. The instructor's commitment was impressive, though. He mimed pulling an invisible rope and climbing an imaginary ladder, all while we awkwardly tried to follow along. It was like trying to solve a charade puzzle with no clues, and I was starting to regret my decision to skip the usual Saturday brunch for this. Finally, the session came to an end, and the instructor gave us a silent round of applause. As we rolled up our mats, Jane turned to me and said, "I guess we just got stretched by a mime." I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. As we left, I thought, maybe next time, I'll just stick to watching yoga videos online. At least then, the instructor will actually speak.